Welcome, my friends. Welcome to another Aimless Adventures vlog. Liberty Laden edition. Coming to you from the State Building here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Actually, we're not. Pun intended. We're in Buena Park at Knott's Berry Farm. Check this out. An exact replica of one of the most iconic buildings, if not the most iconic building in the history of these United States. Yes, we're gonna go check out old school Americana back when America was but a wee lad. Sit back, put on your happy hat, whatever that means, and let's go take a journey into history. We're gonna learn some secrets that maybe folks going through here for the first time, second time, 100th time may not ever know. But someone gave me a little inside information. I'm going to share it with you. So get on your pony and it's time to do a little midnight ride into history. Ooh yeah!
Looking at an exact replica of the Liberty Bell. This bell is a symbol of law, a symbol of justice, a symbol of the sovereign rights of the people. This bell has played a greater role in history than any other bell in the world. Cracked and mute, resting silently here in Independence Hall, it has been heard in the hearts of freedom-loving people throughout the world. Its effect is an emblem of liberty's magnetic, drawing those who seek their human birthright hopefully toward fulfillment. But like the freedom it represents, the bell itself experienced many troubles and survived many wars. Each difficult the bell was cast to commemorate the 50th anniversary of William Penn's Charter of Privileges, a charter which ensured freedom for the citizens of Pennsylvania. That was the reason for the prophetic Old Testament inscription, proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. The first bell was made by Thomas Lister of Whitechapel, London in 1752. But the very first time it rang after arriving in Philadelphia, it cracked. The 2,000-pound bell was recast twice, the second time with added American power, by Charles Stowe and
Can see it. So what are we looking at exactly?
That is Bud Hurlbut's family, his dad, his wife, and 2 kids, and he put the founding date and the weight of the bell up there.
Excellent. Little hidden, not so well known secret of the...
I just found out 2 weeks ago.
All right.
That's how recent it has been, and I've been here for 14 months.
Wow.
The tour guide that told me, she's worked here for many years, and she just found out a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that is excellent. That's good stuff.
And I know that going through. Yeah, but I taught my kids at home as well as, and they would give wrong information or inadequate information.
56 men, 56 signatures, 56 individuals that would be hunted by the Crown of England simply for wanting a country of their own. The fight was not going to be easy. Lives would be lost. Property would be stolen. But liberty would eventually be gained. All right, we're about to take a look at some things that maybe a lot of folks either never seen.
56 delegates.
Right?
Declaration of Independence. Have you ever been told there's a misspelled name on the Declaration of Independence?
There's a misspelled name?
Yep.
But wait, they signed.
Oh, he's going to film me over this.
Yeah, he's gonna film everything, just, that's what he does. Wait, so they signed their own name, so somebody misspelled their own name on purpose?
Nope.
What?
Yep. My second day here, I found out that since everybody would tell me, I had 12 to 13 people growing up telling me that there's a misspelled name. They never knew who or where. So on my second day here, I read these names, read the captions underneath. Read John Hancock's signature.
Yeah.
Read straight down. Lowest signature, what's his first name?
I can't read it without
It's
my
Carter
glasses.
Braxton.
Carter, B-R, hold on, let's
She said it right. Carter Braxton.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
It's an L. It's
Okay.
not a T.
supposed to be a Carter Braxton.
Yep. When you sign with quill, you have to dip it quite often.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess, he started with a partially dry quill, wrote Carter, not having enough ink to cross it, dipped it, dabbed it, dried the edges, and wrote Braxton, forgetting to cross the T.
Okay.
Okay. The person that actually stood behind him, the proofreader who wrote from colony to colony to make sure the right person signed and signed it correctly, he was told he had to stand over his shoulder as the man signed. That way you knew who the man was and you saw his signature being done. Missed it too.
That's funny.
Now, he'd write it, he would reread it to proofread it and do changes. If he found a certain amount of mistakes, of course, he'd tear it out and start over. There's no telling how many he actually did it that way. So, the first one is, if you go to the upper left-hand corner and read down the left-hand side, you will actually see the word world, dot, and a line. Yeah, I know, it's kind of hard, but he's got the camera, he's got the good spot.
I'm gonna look.
One and to the right, you'll see another.
Yeah.
Go 4 words over.
1, 2, 3. Oh, what happened? Okay.
Representative. He never put the EN in representative. You'll notice the 10th row up.
There's another one.
Yeah, Hancock. You'll see only. That one's a little more readable. People usually see that one. He's going, oh my gosh, there's 2 mistakes. How many more? And he keeps reading, keeps reading. He says, 2 mistakes, they stay. That's exactly what he did.
And that's exactly how it looks.
Yep.
Then I've never even noticed that
This is a
before.
professional copy off the original that's actually in Philadelphia. I mean, in Washington.
Okay.
What's interesting, we had an original in here from the Mott's family. The Mott's family actually owns an original. And when Walter Knott actually sold the premises to Cedar Fair, the Mott's family took the original out and actually gave us the professional done.
Okay.
But now, signature cards. And 4 of them are actually signed by delegates of the Declaration of Independence.
Oh.
Now, here's a good one. See how bright the signature is at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the sun every day.
Mm-hmm.
If they leave the original Declaration of Independence in the regular sun, it don't bleach out. Notice how Hancock's signature is on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
It's so bright that the ink back then was more liquefied. It would seep into the paper.
Okay.
Now, if you look in Ronald Reagan's
Mm-hmm.
signature underneath and all that stuff underneath, you can barely read it because it's more of a thick gel ink.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know how long they've hung here, if they hung someplace else before they were put here.
Mm-hmm.
But Even Washington at
Oh, yeah.
Valley Forge in the corner, you can see
Barely
how
see that.
badly bleached out the signatures. If the interesting thing about presidents, they're told that they have to still use a fountain pen,
Okay.
which adds more ink to their signatures. Well,
Right.
he didn't do it when he did these. Make officers of the militia. He would actually sign it to the left, and he would read it to the officer and then hand it to him. Well, it was the officer who it was given to, actually it went through his family tree, and they actually gave it to us. Now, one of the biggest things that they did, notice the diamond-shaped paper over his signature? He was a governor. He had a governor's seal. That little lighter dot in the middle is probably his wax seal. The wax, and then either the ring or the post.
Okay.
So, and what it did is the paper actually insulates it from heat, stopping it from melting and letting it run down over Hancock's signature if it's on a wall.
That makes sense. Okay.
Literally, they preserved it perfectly. Okay. Now, the first thing I found on my second day was the misspelled name on the Declaration. Okay, stand right here and face that way. Look into the
Okay.
delegation chamber.
Yes.
Notice the ledge coming over from behind Hancock's chair, and it stops right before the pillar.
Yeah.
Notice the pillar goes all the way to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how tall the fireplace is.
Yes.
The last thing is, notice that if you took that ledge all the way across the fireplace, how much it would short. Short the fireplace.
Okay.
Now look at the picture.
Wait, look at what picture.
Notice the ledge. It's an indentation. You notice says Boston, printed by order of the City Council, 1876. So, sometime just before this, probably just after the Civil War, they took a picture from the second table in front of the fireplace at an angle like this. It's the reason why you get the right-hand pillar. Then, of course, it shows all the indentations in it. When you shorten a fireplace down to 2.5 feet tall, what that does is it actually causes all drafts and breezes along the floor to actually heat up as they go by the fireplace. They circle around the floor until the floor releases it underneath the tables and chairs. So it wasn't until after the Constitution that they actually found out that they could heat the floor. In this display case, there are 11 currency, 4 of which are in double cases, or 8 of them which are in double cases. The top one in each of the double cases is actually signed by a delegate who signed the Declaration of Independence. The prettiest one is the one right here in the middle. It's John Morton. Look at the top signature. You're going to have to put your glasses on.
Yeah, I see it.
Just how beautiful his signature is. They didn't sign like doctors. They
Right.
signed and they...
Yeah.
So,
That's how my
it-
signature is. Perfectly legible.
Yeah.
Yep.
The way I do it. So out of the 11 currency in here, 2, 5, 7, 9, and 11, 8 of them are off of Benjamin Franklin's printing press. These 2 and that one are actually from that company. That one has that leaf on the back. But Hall, Hall, D Hall, D Hall, and D Hall. When Benjamin Franklin at age 42 decides to retire, he gave Hall 18 years to pay half the profits. Now, he's retiring at 42. The average age is 35 right now. So he gave him, you add 18 to 42, and he's 60 years old then, by the time he finally signs over. The interesting part is when Franklin actually made plates for the currency, he had one of the first patents to actually do the currency. He came up with the idea of using sand castings of foliage, leaves, ferns, bamboo, and so turn around and you've got leaves here, bamboo, leaves, and a fern.
Right.
Now, oops, too many pages.
Right.
Same fern. This is 2 years before he signs it over, so his name's at the top.
Okay.
It's 5 years after he signed it over, Hall's name's at the top. So, but you can only, when you do sand castings, you can only make one plate. Because the minute you pull your plate out, the sand connects to it, and you have to use a brush to brush it all off. So there is nothing to make a second plate of. So.
on our fantasy-laden tour of Philadelphia here in Knott's Berry Farm. We're going to go to Boston, I believe, which is where that original statue, as far as I remember, is from. Behold the Minuteman, a stalwart patriot, standing tall in the opposition of tyranny. By the rude bridge that arched the flood, their flag to April's breeze unfurled. Here once the embattled farmer stood, and fire the shot heard round the world. I didn't just make that up. It's right there.